Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the XTEP Jlin 1. So I got two colorways here, and if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. This is Jeremy Lin's first signature shoe with XTEP. XTEP is a Chinese company, and yeah, let's get it started right away with the tracciones, right? So I got two colorways here, one with a solid black outsole, and the other colorway obviously is a solid pink outsole. So how is the traction? So on a clean court, it is ridiculous, guys. The bite is insane. We have a nice high-pitched squeak, super loud squeak as well. And just, I had no issues when I was playing on a clean court, right? So I'm going to two gyms right now, and I'm playing on one where it's like always clean, like a really nice court. So I really had no problems with this shoe on a clean court. But I also go to the 24-hour gym as well, and that gym is pretty dusty, pretty dirty. There's a lot of dirt and dust on the court. And this shoe sucks on dust, guys. I mean, it picks up dust like crazy, really fast as well. And when dust gets like stuck on the outsole, it affects the traction like a lot. You know some traction patterns, it affects the traction a little bit, but not like crazy. But then this one, it's just like, it's pretty bad. It's not to the point where I slip out and it's dangerous, but it's just not a good bite at all. So I constantly had to wipe, which is super annoying. So if you're playing on a dusty court, I would suggest staying away from the Jlin 1, but if you don't mind wiping, then obviously that's not a huge deal. And as far as outdoor court, I had no issues, right? So I played on the outdoor court with this black colorway. The pink one, I didn't, because I don't know, I like this pink colorway a little bit more. It's a little bit cleaner, so I didn't want to make it as dirty. But on outdoor court, I really had no issues. This pattern is pretty interesting. You know, we have, it's not a, I guess like a little bit of a pivot circle here where the ball of your foot is. We can see Jeremy Lin's logo with the 7 representing kind of like a water drop. And we have a series of lines throughout this entire outsole. So, I mean, very good traction on a clean court. Dust kind of sucks. Outdoor court, you should be fine. As far as the heel to toe transition goes, it's actually pretty damn nice. You know, we have a fully exposed midsole here, so we have a good amount of compression here in the heel, so it doesn't feel clunky or anything. Also, we have a nice curved shape. Here in the forefoot, we have a nice curved shape as well, like a really curved shape. I really like that. So when you put a little bit of weight here in the tip of the shoe, it like propels you forward a little bit. And we have a lot of forefoot flex. So running down the court, heel to toe transition is super duper smooth. And also, of course, as you guys can see here in the middle of the shoe, in the midfoot, there is a midfoot shank plate for torsional support. Alright, moving on to the cushioning setup. So it doesn't really specify, they don't really name their cushion, which is pretty interesting. As you guys know, Chinese companies like to name everything. Oh, it's a dynamic tongue, so we're gonna call this the infinity tongue or something like that, you know? It's the shank plate of power, you know? I don't really know, but yeah, surprisingly they didn't really name it, or at least there's really no information on the Famuji site. They're just calling it a dynamic foam. But it's actually quite soft. I like it, you know, you get good court feel, but here in the heel, there is a good amount of compression. It's soft. It's a little bouncy, just a tiny subtle bounce, rebound back from the cushion. So it's more on the softer side of things, but it still feels super nice, especially when you're heel striking. So impact protection on heel landings is actually very nice. Here in the forefoot, it's gets pretty dead, you know, you don't really feel it all too much. And then for underfoot cushioning, it's actually not that bad. I would have to say the cushion is one of my favorite parts about the Jlin 1. Overall, I would say it is a very responsive type of cushion because there's not a whole lot of anything, you know, it's more just soft, not a whole lot of bounce, good impact protection, low to the ground. But I guess it is good if you do like compression here in the heel. All right, moving on to the materials. So they're basically using a textile material, and as far as the materials go on each colorway, it's a little bit different in each colorway. So here in this black one, we have like a little bit of a thinner textile material. Here on this pink colorway, it looks more like a canvas, and it feels a little bit rougher than this black colorway. So it's a little bit different depending on the colorway, but for the most part, it feels pretty damn similar on foot. Like I said, I would say the black didn't really require any breaking in. The pink colorway with this like a little bit like thicker, a little bit stiffer material, it didn't need to break in a little bit, but for the most part, like I said, it's pretty similar. Here for the tongue, we have a mesh material over the tongue, and then there is an average amount of padding, so it feels pretty cozy. And here in the ankle area, there is I would say less than average padding. So for the most part, the material is nice on foot. As far as the quality goes, I would say it's really nice. The black colorway is going for 90 bucks. This pink colorway is going for like 100 bucks. So I mean, for the price, it's actually very nice. Here in the heel, I mean, this black colorway, we have a synthetic suede material. It doesn't feel very nice, especially with like the fuse and everything. But here in the pink colorway, it's a little bit better as far as the fuse goes and the overall quality of the shoe here. Especially like as you guys can see, the external TPU heel counter is like a plastic as well. So I guess if you want to pay the extra $10, you might as well if you want better quality materials. All right, moving on to the fit. The fit was terrible for me. Not terrible, but it just wasn't that good, right? So first of all, the XTEP kind of like sizing system is not geared toward the US, so it's kind of weird how they have the sizing, but definitely go down probably even a full size, right? I went down half a size and it's still kind of long, so if you go down the full size, it'll probably be a little bit better. They probably converted the sizing from whatever China uses to the US sizes wrong. But anyways, yeah, so it runs long. And also, I did go down like a full size for this pink colorway, and it's still like here in the toe box, it's really roomy. And also for the width, it's actually quite wide. So if you like a roomier fit, or you have a wide or thick ass foot, this shoe is gonna fit you really nicely. If you want a snug fit and you have like a narrower foot, this shoe is not it, you know, like, and I really wanted to like this shoe, you know, but fit is very important to me. And if a shoe doesn't fit very nicely, you know, obviously it kind of ruins the experience for me a little bit. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, the fit wasn't very good for me. All right, moving on to the support. So for lateral containment, I had 0 issues. As you guys can see, here in the forefoot and here in the midfoot, we have this crazy plastic piece caging you for lateral containment. So you're pretty much locked in here in the forefoot and here in the midfoot. For the heel, there's really no internal TPU heel counter for this black colorway, but for this pink one, we have this plastic, so it's an external TPU heel counter. This is weird. I don't know what they're doing as far as quality control goes in different colorways. But anyways, yeah, so the pink one, obviously it's better, but I mean, the foam does come up to act as a sidewall, so I really had no issues with lateral containment with either of these shoes. And also lateral stability was good. You know, you have a little bit of an outrigger. As you guys can see, the rubber outsole does protrude out here on the lateral side of the forefoot, so lateral stability was good as well. I had no issues with support. All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe, I'm actually very curious. This pink colorway is 13.44 ounces, so that's like an ounce heavier than average. And then this black colorway is what? 11.99 ounces. That's crazy. How do you have such a big difference in weight in just different colorways? What? I guess you do have like this like plastic here in the back, and I don't really know where's the weight coming from. What? That's an ounce and a half different. There's no way. Yeah, that's crazy. that's ridiculous actually. So anyways, it feels pretty minimal on foot, you know. Like I said, this material does feel a little bit like thinner than this like canvas material here on this pink colorway. And also like when you're playing it, you feel pretty responsive, you know, traction is good, cushion feels pretty responsive, support is there and all that. My foot was moving around in the shoe a little bit, but for me personally, it's just because the fit wasn't that good. All right, as far as the ventilation goes, ventilation's okay. I wouldn't say it's the best. There's not a whole lot of airflow through the material, but like I said, the material is quite thin, so it doesn't retain heat that well. So I would say ventilation is okay. Moving on to the aesthetics. The aesthetics of the shoe are pretty sick. They have some terrible colorways in my opinion. Like this colorway is just, like, like I don't know, there's just something about this colorway that I really don't like, but this pink one is sick, and they also have some really dope colorways on their side as well. So obviously, of course, colorways can make or break a shoe, but I feel like the overall silhouette is pretty sick. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, I mean, for me personally, I didn't enjoy the shoe that much, right? First of all, the traction for dust was terrible, and I would just constantly have to wipe, so that was really annoying, first of all. Second, the fit also wasn't the best, you know, so that kind of sucked as well. But you know, obviously the fit is very subjective, so if the shoe fits you well, I feel like you'll enjoy the shoe. Like I said, it is pretty cheap, 90 to 100 bucks. Just watch out if you're playing on a dusty court, you're gonna have to wipe a lot. So yeah, definitely I would say it is a pretty good performer, but for me it definitely isn't one of my favorites. But anyways, that about concludes my review of the XTEP Jlin 1. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.